Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Look at there. That small watermelon that was growing in the bed over there split open, so I brought it over here and threw half in here, half over there, and it ain't even been 5 minutes and it's about gone. Of course, the adults run the babies off, but I did go ahead. I got a hen that's been hanging out in the pen, and if y'all can see her, let me walk around to this side. I'm not sure what's wrong with her. See the Rhode Island Red right there? She's sitting in the corner in there and there's no eggs up under her. But I went in and she jumped up and she came out. Thing is, she's limping. That one of her legs is hurting her, or foot or something. She wouldn't let me get close enough to get a good look or find out what was wrong. But something's going on with her, making her limp. And I don't know, maybe she'll get better. Just don't ever know when you've got animals like this that can't talk to you. But look at there. They've just about got that bigger piece down to nothing but the green. And that smaller piece won't be much longer. But I was trying to pick out which ones might be roosters. And I'm thinking that one right there, that white and brown and black, is going to be a rooster. He's got nice long tail feathers and he's got a comb coming in. The others are still too small. But see, this one here, the comb is a little bit lighter. Her tail feathers are short. Pretty sure that one's going to be a hen, or is a hen. But it's very hard to tell till they start getting about that size. And then you're looking at this little fella here that's in with the middle pen. His comb's a lot darker and his tail feathers are longer. He's just not carrying them up right now. But normally, those tail feathers are sticking up. I think that's going to be a rooster as well. Could be wrong. It could be a hen. But we'll see how that comb does and them tail feathers. But then we got this gray one over here. No comb at all. Tail feathers are a little bit long, but there's no comb. That, I believe, is going to be a hen, which I'm glad. That means I've got another Easter egger. And then there's another baby inside the pen in there. And I did go ahead and count the eggs in the last two pens while I was in there. I've got 5 and 6, which is 11. And I can see at least 3 in the middle. In the first pen. So that's 14 for the day. It's not a bad egg day. There may be more up under in here. I doubt it. But anyway. And then you look at this last little first pen over here. There's only one of the babies in here, and that one doesn't have a comb hardly at all growing on it. So I'm thinking that one's going to be a hen as well. We'll find out if Sue tries to mount it. But I don't see any comb. So I'm hoping most of the ones that I've got are going to be hens. That one right there. But see how he stands up straight. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a rooster. The roosters tend to walk more straight up than the hens do. That's just their posture, I guess. But anyway, I walked out just to check the garden. I've still got a few squash that are growing. And I'm going to pause it and walk back out there and show y'all. All right, you see both those squash plants have pretty much taken up a 4x4 section of this 4x8 bed. Now, with that being said, this plant here has been producing squash like crazy. I've already gotten close to a dozen off of it. And if I get down here, you'll see there's a lot more still growing. Little ones, medium-sized ones, there's more growing over there. And look at the vine right there, all the way back. I see some vine borer damage over here, but all this looks good and healthy. And then you look at this plant. I haven't gotten any squash off of it. It's got leaves everywhere. Vine borers have just destroyed it. It's got a lot of damage, and I'm not getting any squash. So anyway, this one here, I did get a couple off of it, but it's time to pull it and get it out of that bed. But see the yellow spots coming on top of the watermelons? This one's gotten a lot bigger. Brighter yellow, whatever. So I'm pretty sure that plant, that watermelon, is just about ready to pick. So I may pick it tonight because it's got a nice good yellow spot on it, and that is the biggest one. And then this one should be next, and then hopefully that one over there. So I know it's a lot more ripe than the ones I've picked. Whether it's ready to be picked, I don't know. But let's see. Yeah, this one sounds a little more higher pitched. That one sounds a little deeper. So thumping it, that one sounds like it's more ripe than this other one anyway. So I may pick it tonight and get it in the house and wipe it off and get it in the fridge and let it start cooling down and take it to work with me. And if it's worth eating, we'll eat it at work. But still not 100% sure. I'm guessing this is a squash or something in here. The way it's growing, it looks like it. It's just much smaller than the rest. But it looks like a squash plant. Not doing very well in that little pot. But I could go ahead and pull this one and then transplant that into this bed. Ooh, I see a little piece of grass coming up right there. Pull it all the way up by the roots. I need to get some weeds done from out around it, but in the bed I haven't had any. But anywho, that's what I wanted to show y'all. This plant is producing phenomenally, and then that plant hasn't produced anything. That one over there was one of the ones from the first planting, and it did produce a couple more squash before it got as bad as it is now. So I'm gonna end up having to pull it and throw it out in the yard, mulch it up in the yard, you know. And probably don't know what I'm gonna do with that little squash plant, but I'm gonna pick one of them watermelons and hopefully it's ripe. But I was talking to one of my little buddies at work about my bike. He's got a mini bike that he put a bigger motor on that he says will run 64 miles an hour. And I have no desire to run 64 miles an hour on a bicycle or a mini bike. But I've got a speed app I downloaded to my phone, and I'll get it started and then I put it in my pocket and ride. And the first time I tried it, I only got 27 miles an hour, and that was just for long enough for it to record, you know, record that I did 27. And then in the last video, I told y'all I got it up to 33 miles an hour. And that was pretty good. And that was a maintained 33 until I hit a hill, of course. And then the next day, after I recorded that video, I got it up to 34 miles an hour. My thing is the front brake has still got a little bit of resistance on it. If I could get that front brake alignment back where it needs to be so it doesn't have any resistance on it, I might get another mile or two per hour out of this bike. But y'all, 34 miles an hour, and it'll maintain 30, 29, 30. I mean, that's no problem whatsoever to maintain it on flat ground. Of course, it may maintain more than that. There's not enough flat ground around here for me to swear that. But anyway, that's going to be a good bug out or scavenge vehicle, that kind of thing, after crap hits the fan, for me to be able to go get, or me or someone in my group to go get some resources and bring them back. But I did go ahead and got online and ordered me a new hitch that goes to this. And it basically is just a little piece that bolts onto the axle of the bicycle, whatever you hook it to. And it's got a round knob that sticks inside this piece of pipe. And this pin goes through it. It's got a hole in it so that it stays connected. But it is round, so it gives it some flexibility with that spring and all. And the strap is just a safety strap, so if it did break, the strap would hold. So, but anyway, I do have that. So eventually I need to get both tires off and get them taken care of, to get them pumped up and make them work, or possibly even order more tires for it down the road. But that is not a priority. It is going to get done though. So I've had some red wasp, as y'all know in my last video, hanging out up under this shelter, and they haven't built a nest. And I didn't show y'all on the video, but when I had that one that was on this beam here I sprayed and got, I realized they were 3 or 4 more clumped together right on the side of that beam up there, and they wasn't building a nest. They were just all clumped together right there. So I sprayed them and killed them as well. But I have not found anywhere I see they're trying to build a nest. I need to replace my bags, or, you know, blow them back up and put them back. But I've been looking, because I told y'all I'm terrified of wasps. I can't stand them. I bought 2 more cans of that long distance wasp spray from work today and brought it home, because I'm on my last can, or was. Now I got 2 more full cans to battle these things with. But I'm not going to fool with them right now, because I am almost positive the wasp nest is up under where that grill is right there. Because this is always where I see the wasp. So we'll just have to find out later. But if we can get some cool weather, I can come out and open the lid and look for them and kill them. And I got some privet running, you know, growing wild right there. And what, I don't know what it's called, but we've always called it old coffee weed. But I take my machete and cut that down, but I don't want to disturb them big old red wasps if they're here somewhere. So that's why the weed is still there, y'all. I don't want to get around them bees. But I was thinking about riding the bike this evening for a little while. I ended up riding it yesterday after my grandboys had gone home, of course, yesterday evening after church. I rode it down to the intersection and back 2 or 3 times. Ended up running about 3.5 miles on it. I want to get me a bigger seat. I'm an older guy, and I don't like that little bitty seat. So I want to get me a little bit wider seat that's just more comfortable for me. But my fenders, although they're cardboard, are working great. I don't get thrown up a lot of dirt on me at all. So I'm pleased with that. Now I just need to get with my brother and go by his shop and get some scrap metal and bend it to shape and cut it like I've done this cardboard, and get it mounted or painted and then mounted to the bike frame, you know, or the luggage frames on the front and back. And I'll have some permanent fenders on there that I don't have to worry about the rain destroying. And I'll paint them black so it matches the framing of the luggage rack and stuff. You know, I think it'll just look a little better. But that's the idea anyway. So I've got a plan for it. It's just a matter of getting time and all that to get it done. I see another red wasp flying. It was over by my tarps. And I have seen them build nests up in folded up tarps like that. So there's another one flying around over there. I am not going to go and try and tick off a nest full of red wasp. This is the time of year where you're ending toward the end of summer, or the worst part of summer, that bees in general are trying to store food and lay their babies and grow their hive and protect their queen, whoever that may be, whether it's honeybees or other bees. And I don't want to fight them, at least not where they've got the advantage. If it's hot, they fly faster than I can run, because I'm an old man. But either way. All right, so all the peaches have come off the tree. I thought I had one more up here, but apparently it's fallen off the tree. But I need to get this tree pruned back so when fall gets here and all the leaves start falling, I'll come in and prune this tree way back to where I won't have as bushy of a problem next year, although it did grow a lot this year. I'm going to cut this stalk off right here that looks dead, and that center one that's been cut, I'm going to cut it off and prune this tree quite a bit to where maybe I'll get an opportunity to have some decent pieces next year. So, the babies that are in this pen are thoroughly enjoying the grassy end of the pen. Y'all notice I moved the gate so I could cut the weeds down. But I need to weave a lot of this scuppling vine or muscadine vine into the fence and let it keep going. But look at here. Things just fall right off in my hands. I see another one on the inside. I'm going to try to get them. Yep, where they don't fall. I'm going to put them in my pockets, as they said on Lord of the Rings. What you got in your pockets is precious. My daughter and I laugh at that. My oldest daughter. So I'm going to go ahead and pick these and get them brought inside. Might just feed them to the chickens, but either way. These are ready. These dark purple ones. Now you notice there's a big clump of them in there. I'm going to have to go inside to get those. I can't get them from this side. And I definitely don't want to tango with with this fence, electric fence that's hanging right above it. So, oh, I dropped that one. There it is. It didn't make it to the ground. It's nice and soft too. So, oh, that one ain't quite dark enough purple. It'll still be good. Dang, that's going to be a pocket full. That's a little bit more than I expected. Let's see how many more I can find on here. I'm a-looking. I don't remember seeing any on this side of the vine. Still don't see any. So I have to go inside the pen and pick that last big bunch of them. And there's only just a few left that weren't purple like this one. So I'll go inside, try to pick this big clump of berries right there and see if there's any more down here. It's so hard to tell. Looks like the chickens have beat me to most of them. But I just take it and wrap it around like so. You wrap it around once or twice just to hold it down, and it'll keep wrapping itself all the way down the vine, all the way down the fence. So, anywho, all right, let me get in there and get them muscadines or scuppelings picked. And then I got to get some chores done. It's too early to gather the eggs. Anytime I gather the eggs before 7 o'clock, I almost always have 1 or 2 more eggs laid before 7:30. So I've just taught myself to wait. But y'all look at that. They still quite a bit left on that skin, but they've got it down to the skin. A lot of traffic on the road this evening. See, she got up and moved, and now she's inside, sitting down, laying down, or whatever. But I don't know what's going on with her. All right. Video's long enough, and all y'all gonna see me do is pick these last few scuppelings, muscadine. So, we always call them muscadines down here. I don't know what y'all call them in other parts of the country, but I'm going to pick Look at that, they just fell off into my hand. The ones that were ripe. And there's 3 left that I did not pick. All these fell off in my hand. So, I got a pretty good pocket full. I'll take them inside, rinse them off, and get them put in a bowl or something and put them in the fridge. And we'll call it a day. But I gave up on the last of the figs. When I checked it yesterday, they were still 1 or 2 that wasn't ripe yet. It's not worth fooling with, and the birds can have. So, guys, I appreciate y'all. Look at that. That brown hen's got feathers on its feet, just like Junior and Sue do. So, I'm hoping that's going to be a hen. I just don't know. He's already got a comb starting and the tail feathers sticking up like that. So, it may be a rooster, and that'll be fine too. And the other one that's got feathers on its feet is the black one. I believe that's it. Yep, sitting up there. It's got a little bit of a comb, and the tail feathers seem to be sloped down a lot more. So, just don't know. It's a little early to tell. But guys, thank y'all for watching my videos, subscribing to the channel, hitting the thumbs up. All that stuff helps my channel grow. It grows very, very, very slowly compared to other channels. My channel is now, I'm pretty sure, 4 years old, and I'm still sitting at like 755 because of the shadow banning I get for my conservative views. So it'll be all right. Now Sparky's fine. I freshened his water yesterday, filled his feeder, got his grass cut. I need to go out there and weed eat, but all the animals are content, other than the fact that it's hot and humid and miserable outside. I watch my cameras, you know, when I get a chance during the day, and they just don't move around much when it's sun shining and full hot. We've got about 2 hours before dark now, maybe 2.5, but anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared. Alright guys, I'm going to throw this on the tail end. Man, what do y'all think of this watermelon? Look at that. That watermelon was ripe. Here's the problem. I picked it up and there was a hole. A vine borer drilled a hole up in the rind into the watermelon. And I don't know where it went. That's the only hole that was in it, one little hole. It did go to the red though. So, giving it to the chickens. Man, it smells so sweet. And I hate the fact that something bored a hole in it. A little old bitty 1/16 of an inch hole. But man, that watermelon's ripe. That just breaks my heart. I haven't got a ripe one all year, and when I finally get one, there's a hole bored into it. I took my pocket knife and cut the whole part of it out, and sure enough, it went in several inches. So, oh my goodness. I guess it could have been eaten, but the chickens love it too. Y'all have a good one.